I get it, the markets are bleeding, and if you've been following my videos, you know I've said before that it feels like we're in a dot-com style bubble. Meme coins are the new penny stocks. The fear, uncertainty, and doubt are everywhere, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed. I've been there. When I first got into crypto back in 2017, I was overly emotional, constantly checking prices, chasing pumps, and panicking over every dip. If you're feeling that way right now, trust me, I understand. But after 3 full market cycles, I realized the key to winning in this space is not day trading or trying to time the perfect entry and exit. What changed everything for me was reframing my mindset from a short-term speculator to someone treating crypto as a long-term digital asset savings plan. So what does that actually mean? It means I don't waste energy trying to catch tops and bottoms. Instead, I focus on one thing, stacking as much Bitcoin and as many high conviction altcoins as possible without obsessing over their short-term US dollar value. Because when you zoom out and think 5 or 10 years ahead, the day-to-day volatility stops mattering, and that's when you truly start building wealth. Now, with all that in mind, what if I told you that your crypto isn't working hard enough? You could be earning passive income, stacking rewards, and compounding your gains, all without selling a single token. But most investors are either leaving money on the table by not utilizing DeFi properly, or they're getting wrecked chasing high-risk, unsustainable yields. DeFi in 2025 is a gold mine, but only if you know where to look. Most people think the only way to make money in crypto is by waiting for prices to pump, but that's outdated thinking. Whether the market is up, down, or sideways, there are opportunities to generate consistent returns if you understand how to leverage your assets. Staking layer 1 tokens like Ethereum, Sui, Avalanche, and Solana lets you earn additional rewards while benefiting from price appreciation in the long term. And for the risk takers, there are high reward DeFi protocols offering incredible APYs that can 10x your passive income, but only if you play it smart. Today, I'm breaking down the best yield opportunities in crypto for 2025. Let's go. From safe, steady returns to the most degen plays in the market, you'll learn exactly where to park your crypto for the highest possible gains without falling into the usual traps. I'm Kareem, and welcome back to the Crypto Code by ICN Talks. Stick around until the end because this is the only DeFi yield guide you need for 2025. You cannot afford to miss this. Guys, today, before anything else, thank you so much. We hit 10,000 subscribers. If you're liking what you're hearing, then let us know by smashing that like button and subscribe to the channel. Crypto moves so fast, so ping the notification bell as well to make 100% sure you don't miss our next crypto update. Before we get started, let's address the elephant in the room. The crypto market is getting hit hard right now, and it's not just Bitcoin, stocks, altcoins, and even the S&P 500 are all taking a dive. One of the biggest triggers for this sell-off could be the combination of the Bybit ETH hack, uncertainty around inflation, Trump's tariffs, which are officially going live, and the market is reacting. Institutional investors are pulling back, retail traders are panicking, and liquidity is drying up fast, making volatility even worse. There's also sentiment that the big centralized exchanges like Binance and large market makers are playing a nasty game behind the scenes. It's all part of the game for them to buy more crypto at a cheaper price. Bitcoin has already dropped below $90,000, and altcoins, many of which are already down 70 to 80% from their highs, are experiencing even more pain. Meanwhile, Nvidia, one of the strongest stocks this cycle, is also showing some weakness, which could signal further downside for risk assets, including crypto. By the way, Nvidia has a larger market cap than the entire crypto industry. Let that sink in. So despite the sell-off, institutions remain incredibly bullish on crypto, while retail investors are losing faith, creating one of the biggest sentiment gaps we've ever seen. Some analysts believe this could be a short-term overreaction, especially since many altcoins have already been in deep correction territory for weeks. Historically, when the market reaches extreme fear like this, it sets up major bounce opportunities. But the question is, how much lower do we go before that happens? Bitcoin ETFs have brought massive liquidity into the market, but unlike past cycles, the capital isn't flowing into altcoins the same way, which is changing the dynamics of this bull run. Looking ahead, Made in America tokens and assets backed by major players like World Liberty Finance could be the safest bets as regulatory clarity improves. While the short-term pain is not over, smart investors are watching key levels. Bitcoin at $80,000 and select altcoins with strong fundamentals as potential re-entry points. This could be one of the best accumulation opportunities we've seen in years, but only for those who are paying close attention and staying ahead of the game. So, do you think the entire crypto industry is worth more than Nvidia? I do. These crashes have happened before and they'll keep happening. Take your emotions out of the equation and stay laser focused on fundamentals. Something I've learned after 3 full market cycles is that Bitcoin and top 10 altcoins like Ethereum, Solana, and now Sui aren't just investments. They're a long-term savings plan for the future. If you zoom out, the trend is still undeniably up, despite the volatility along the way. And today's video isn't about chasing get-rich-quick schemes or gambling on meme coins. It's about maximizing your crypto saving strategy to accumulate more of the digital assets that truly matter. The goal is simple. Earn more of the tokens we have strong conviction will outperform over the next 5 to 10 years, setting ourselves up for long-term financial success. With all that in mind, let's pull up the screen and get started. All right, before we get started, let's look at some sentiment that's happening in the market. I found this hilarious. When you've been in crypto for 6 years, this is so true. This is by Lark Davis, where everything seems like it's falling apart, but in reality, you should be okay. And this is something that I really want to drive home today is it is volatile, right? So crypto is a volatile industry. It's going to go up and down a lot. But if you do zoom out, you'll notice that it trends in one way and it's usually up. So just relax, enjoy the ride because this is part of the game. If we look at the landscape over the past week, it's pretty much red all over except for three winners here. We see IP, which I want to talk about as well. I think we'll probably do a video about them. So I did some research on them. Story is a layer 1 blockchain designed to serve as a foundation intellectual property on the internet. It enables creators to register, license, and monetize their IP assets seamlessly. And they've been doing very well regardless of what's happening. 96% up this week. So I think it's worth looking at. Another one is Pi. This has been in the making for 6 years. I remember looking at this, and actually I've been mining this as well for the past 6 years. So I have a lot of this coin, and they finally launched on their mainnet, and they've been really outperforming 131% while everything is crashing. They've been doing quite well. So I think the price, what is the price today? It's sitting at around $2.6. Awesome. Another one that we want to talk about is Maker. And I want to talk about actually one of the yields that we'll go through today is around this and their new rebranding. Also interesting to see that over the past week, they're up almost 50%. So the market is still red all over, but there are some winners in here. Next up, I want to show you that NVIDIA alone, just one company, is worth over $3 trillion, which is way more than the crypto industry. In crypto industry as a whole, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all these meme coins, all these utility like Chainlink and all these different layer 1s and layer 2s combined, it's, NVIDIA is still worth more than all of that together. And does that make sense to you? I mean, I have very strong conviction that the entire crypto industry will surpass and overtake NVIDIA alone as a company. So just wanted to put that in perspective. Now, if we look at the top 10 coins and what's kind of happening in the markets, yeah, it's been bad. I mean, over the past week, we've seen Bitcoin drop below $90,000, 7% down. Over the past 30 days, it is 16% down. And as we mentioned before, it has been Bitcoin season. So watching this is kind of hard to see, but it's not the end of the world, and I'll explain why. So Ethereum, our last video, we talked about it. Things are happening behind the scenes. I've been doing a lot of research, and it seems like there is some market manipulation happening where the big institutions, the big whales are accumulating as much ETH at this very cheap price. I do still have very strong conviction that ETH will hit its all-time high of $4,000 by the end of this year. And you can see here, from all-time high, it's 52% down. So there's a great opportunity with ETH. And this video, by the way, is all about getting more of the cryptos that we believe in. And the cryptos that I currently believe in, and I've always wanted to top up my bags, is Bitcoin, Ethereum. Now I've added Sui. And those are my main three that I'm going in for the long term. And if there's any way that I could increase those bags by staking, for example, which we'll get into, then that's the strategy that I want to go in. But of course, it's a long-term game. We'll talk about the APYs, but that's my conviction here. And here you can see the top 10s. Everything's bleeding, which I think is a great time to get in. Another thing that we can talk about, obviously, is the fear and greed. You can see here it's at 20. And if you've watched the channel, the best time to buy is when you're uncomfortable and when there's fear in the market, not when the taxi driver you're with is talking about buying Bitcoin and buying Ethereum, and your uncle and your cousins are all getting in on it as well. That's usually the time when it's greed, is the time to take some profits, and when there's fear, it's time to top up on your bags. Moving on, meme coins has been dominating the mind share and market share this cycle, which I think has been very different from previous cycles. And if you've been following the channel, I do not touch meme coins. I think there's a lot of activity that happens behind the scenes that you don't see, that I don't see, and I just don't feel comfortable with it. Every celebrity who wants to launch one has ended up just, it's been a terrible ride. A lot of people are losing a lot of money. I mean, even if you look at Trump's meme coin, we were so excited when he came into power in January. It is down 54% over the past 30 days. what's really sad to see is that I think altcoin season was delayed because of these meme coins literally sucking liquidity out of the market into tokens that really have no utility. They have no use case. They're not Chainlink, where they're offering intelligence across different chains. They're not Ethereum, that has become a very powerful layer one that has so much to offer in terms of DeFi and other protocols and other apps as well. So it's just a shame to see too much liquidity go into essentially useless tokens. So again, this is not something I touch. This for me is a casino. If you want to take a bet, please, that's up to you. But none of this is financial advice. All meme coins to me seems like you're just playing at the casino. Moving on, I wanted to show you how you could also track prices on ICN.live. You just go here into prices, and then I want to show you Bitcoin. And why I wanted to highlight right now is this is my third cycle, and I know it can be scary to see Bitcoin go from $100,000 down to $86,000. I know it sounds like it's scary, but look, if you zoom out, honestly, like I got in around here in 2017. Okay, we saw Bitcoin. I got in, I think, at around $1,200. Okay, we saw Bitcoin go from $1,200 up to $20,000. But if you zoomed in on this, that looked like a massive peak, similar to what you're seeing today. Okay, and when it got to $20,000, it dropped all the way back down to $4,400. And the news was the same that you're seeing now. Bitcoin is dead. It's crashing. Everyone, this is over. No one's going to be buying crypto anymore. But look what happened over the next 2 years. We saw another huge rally. And then we saw in 2021, we saw the peak again hit $64,000. That's again when the taxi drivers, your uncles, your moms were all talking about Bitcoin. It was all over the news, hitting all-time highs. And what happened right after? It went all the way back down to $15,000, right? At this point, the fear index was so low. People were so scared to get in. They're like, I would never touch this. $15,000 Bitcoin, are you crazy? But now they had the opportunity to come in at $15,000. And the people who did control their emotions, buy in, top up their bags again at that point at $15,000 are laughing right now because it went up all the way to $100,000. And yes, it's back down at $86,000, but that doesn't mean it's the end of this. I have strong conviction over the next 5 years, this will only go up. Yes, you'll have ups and downs along the way. So I just wanted to show you what that looks like and just, get your mind in the game, change your mindset. It's about topping up the cryptos that mean something. And making sure that you find the right ones with the good fundamentals. The same thing with Ethereum. I've been an Ethereum maxi since the beginning. This is an incredible project. They literally all the TVL is there. They have a huge mind share, DeFi, a lot of developers, users, wallets, a lot of activity happening on this chain. And again, I mean, we see it go down from $4,000 all the way to $2,700. When it hit $4,000, we're like, oh, let's buy more. This is going to go to $10,000. But as soon as it goes down to $2,300, everyone's scared. That doesn't make sense. So for me, I have decided from when I first experienced the first cycle, the second cycle, I'm like, you know what? I'm not a day trader. I'm not going to sit here, stress myself. I have enough white hair. I have kids. I'm not going to do that anymore. So what I'm going to do is whenever it goes down, I'll top up, if I can, extra cash on the side, top up some more. Or let's talk about other things that we can do. Forget the price, forget trading, forget buying and selling. There's also other ways just to make sure you're accumulating more ETH over time so that in 5 years' time, you have a nice savings plan with cryptos that actually matter. Fantastic. Hopefully that was driven home. Now, looking at the news, a hack like what happened with Bybit is so annoying. It happens every cycle. There's always something. And Lazarus Group, this North Korean group, they've done it before. They hijack every cycle, and it really hurts the industry. So I just wanted to showcase that FBI has now confirmed that it is actually North Korea behind this. Again, like how far can this go? All of the wallets are being traced. It's going to be very hard to cash out these coins, but it is what it is. We have to learn from this, and I hope that there will be new businesses, new startups maybe, or even a group of people who come together and figure out a way to stop this. Maybe using dumb computers instead of smart, that are not connected to the internet. Some way that we can make sure that no one gets into our system. So if a company like Bybit can be hacked, trust me, it can happen to any one of us. If you have a large bag of crypto, make sure it's not on a device that you use on a daily. Don't put it on your phone. Put it on a cold wallet, and make sure that it's not connected to the internet in any way. Just always be safe and mindful of that, because I've met a lot of people who have unfortunately lost everything by clicking on a random link and everything's gone. Moving on, we saw the markets are they're polarizing, right? Some people are saying it's the end of the world, and that's usually the retail investors who are scared because they aped in at $100,000 Bitcoin thinking it was going to go to 150. But the real veterans in the game who've been here and we've seen this are starting to see patterns. And I honestly think that this is a shakeout by the biggest players in the industry because they want to buy it cheaper. We saw what happened when the Bitcoin ETFs launched. It didn't perform as well as we thought. There was a consolidation period for a while while the big investors were making sure they're getting it at a good price. And I think the same thing we're seeing with Ethereum. So what I expect to happen is there's going to be a shakeout now, and I do expect that this is going to go back up in the next I think a month. And there's a bunch of different tweets about this. Cointelegraph even talked about it. There's a pattern. The Wyckoff pattern suggests a $100,000 retest. But what happens when it touches that point, we'll see. It might go back down. It might go back up. At the end of the day, if you follow the channel, stick with our message. It's about creating a digital asset savings plan. It's not about day trading and swing trading and leverage trading. None of that, because we know in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, it's only going to go one way, and that's up. So why not stack as much as possible as we can? Okay, so that's the conviction of this channel, of myself, and I hope today I get to show you different ways you can do that. Moving on, there's more strategies on what's happening here. It has been a very different cycle than previously because of the meme coin sucking out all that liquidity. We were expecting Ethereum to go next, and after that, all the altcoins in the top 50. But when Trump launched his meme coin on Solana became a playground, a casino, and unfortunately, a lot of money went into there. And I think now, finally, after what happened with Libra, people are they're out. They don't want to play with meme coins anymore. They've been burned. They've learned. Even though if you were following and you're subscribed to the channel, we told you, stay away because most likely you're going to get burned with these things. So now it's back to fundamentals as it always is. .com bubble was the same thing. You had so many skeptics, so many speculative coins. It's the same here in crypto. So make sure that if you subscribe to the channel, we'll make sure that you're only checking out coins with real fundamentals. Okay, moving on. Let's get started. APYs. This is why we're here. How do we make more crypto with the crypto we have? Right? We don't care about prices. We don't care about going up or down. Where am I timing the market right? Why stress? It's not even worth it. Trust me, it's not worth it. Just get as much as you can, because when the market goes back up again, you're going to be laughing because now you have more. All right. So Stakely.io is a great one. It has aggregated all of your different options for staking from ETH at 2.74%, but I can show you a way to get a little bit better than that. Polkadot 14%, 15% on Atom, on Cosmos. Solana's at 4.7%. So look at all these. Sui 2.3%. But the rewards here are in these tokens, right? So if you have conviction in these projects that this is going to be, they're going to 5x over the next 3 years to 5 years, then why not just park it and make some more on the side, right? Instead of getting interest in the bank on your US dollar, which inflation is happening anyway, and the value of your dollar is going down. Why not put it in an asset that all of us have strong conviction is going to go up? AVAX 7%. Is AVAX going anywhere? No. They're building. They have a huge team behind them. They have technology. They have projects onboarding. There's still real world assets that are going to be on chain. There are still DeFi protocols we haven't even heard of. Multi-billion-dollar projects that we have never even heard of are going to start being built and start coming out very soon, especially with AI and all of the productivity that we're seeing with that. So all of these you can see here are options for whatever staking protocol, layer one that stakes, you can have a look at. So very, very interesting. This one's a great one, Stakely.io. If you are an ETH maxi like I am, then Lido is probably the best way to do it. You can also do this off of your ledger on your cold wallet, and they're offering a 3% APR on your ETH, right? So imagine you just park your ETH here. Every year you get 3% extra ETH. It's already 52% below its all-time high. The upside it's all there. So why not just stake it and keep it? And whenever you have enough, cash on the side, buy more ETH if that's what you're into, right? Completely. I just want to show you what's out there, so that your ETH and your tokens are not just sitting idle doing nothing. Moving on, this is what it looks like once you click onto the app. You can just submit your ETH here. You deposit your ETH, you proceed, and then you start earning your rewards. Now, for the little bit more degen, I want to call it, but it's still don't sell your house and put all your money in this. This is what I'm trying to say. But if your risk appetite is a little bit higher, okay, and you want to look at something that's also pushing the boundaries and offering great APYs because it's an old protocol, but building something new. MakerDAO has been around for a while. They have a stablecoin called DAI, and they've now rebranded to Sky. Okay, and if you remember now, I'll show you their. Let's go through it, right? So Sky on Twitter, they have over 286,000 followers. They are offering incredible returns now because they've just rebranded and they're going full on. But it is still the MakerDAO team. And here you can see you can get 8.75% return on Sky rewards. And if you launch the app, it's very easy to use. You can just deposit your ETH, you can deposit your DAI, and start earning rewards. And they have their own stablecoin called USDS. So this one's very risky. Please, obviously, I mean, do your own research. But the upside here is that because it's still like getting some momentum, that the value of the Sky token could go up significantly over the next 2-3 years. So you're making rewards of 6.5%, but the upside of that token, for example, here, if we go into Sky and look at it over the past month, it's gone up 48%. So you're making 6%, and that token is also appreciating in value. So that was the one gem that I wanted to showcase. But again, to be completely transparent, I am not staking on MakerDAO on Sky, but this is something that I'm looking at now, and I want to study it a little bit more. But these are the kind of options that we have. The key takeaway from today's video is simple. Your crypto should be working for you, not just sitting idle in your wallet. Whether you prefer the balanced approach of staking layer 1 tokens like Ethereum, AVAX, Sui, and Solana, or the high-risk, high-reward world of degen DeFi protocols, there's a strategy for everyone. The key is understanding the risks and rewards so you can maximize your holdings without exposing yourself to unnecessary downside. In a volatile market like this, staying disciplined and focused on fundamentals is what separates successful investors from those who get shaken out. We've seen market crashes before, and we'll see them again, but those who keep accumulating strong assets while others panic tend to come out ahead. This isn't about hype or short-term speculation. This is about long-term wealth creation. Institutions are still pouring money into digital assets, even while retail sentiment is at rock bottom. That tells me one thing. The smartest money in the world isn't betting against crypto. They're positioning themselves early while prices are low. You don't need to time the exact bottom. You just need to focus on earning more of the assets that will matter most in the next 5 to 10 years. So take a step back, look at the bigger picture, and ask yourself, are you making moves today that your future self will thank you for? The opportunities in this space are massive, but only for those who take the time to learn and execute the right strategies. Don't just hold, earn, compound, and grow your portfolio with intention. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. See you next week.